Now, who are your bandhus? Those whom we bind ourselves to, isn't it? We are in bondage. Why? Because we have bound ourselves to these people. So, you know, do we like, do we value love or do we value freedom? Now, I'm giving you absolute choice. We value both. But which is a higher value? Do we value love more or do we love freedom more? That means if you are in a relationship with someone whom you love, are you ready to give up your love for the sake of freedom, or are you ready to sacrifice your freedom for the sake of love? Difficult choice, but I want an answer from personal answer. Which means, which is a higher value? If you have come just now, is freedom a higher value or is love a higher value? True. We think we can give up everything for the sake of love. Initially we do, but then when you see that your freedom is curtailed, all of us, from a small child to every of us, we want freedom. We want to run our lives our way. Now, if somebody whom we care for, whom we love, infringes our freedom, then what happens? Our bandhus become bandhas, become a bondage. That is why those whom we love the most are the people whom you hate the most also. Therefore, I have not started, this is informal for those who have come. It is an informal session until we have a certain quorum, but it doesn't matter. You know, if two people, interested people are there, that is enough for us. So, Tvameva Mata Cha Pita Tvameva. You are like my mother and father, but you are someone other than my mother and father. Tvameva Bandhu. You are my very close relative. You are like my very close relative. Tvameva Sakha. We all like close friends, no? Our friends. So you are referring to somebody with whom you can share your everything. You are like my Sakha. Tvameva Vidya. Today, if I'm an ophthalmologist with all the abilities and all the skills, it is all because of you. Tvameva Vidya. And all of you have made Dravinam. What is Dravinam? Wealth. Now, because of your knowledge and because of your skills, you have been able to generate a certain amount of wealth. Tvameva Vidya Dravinam Tvam Eva. You indeed are. And finally, that most beautiful line is Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva. You're my everything. Who can fit this one definition? It can't be your father, it can't be your mother, it can't be your relative, it can't be your friend, it can't be your knowledge, it can't be your wealth. Give me one person who can fit this definition. God is abstract, you know. True, God can fit that definition. But today is Guru Purnima, and on this day we offer reverence to our teachers, our gurus, who have made you who you are. So in our Indian tradition, it is always important to begin with reverence for the Guru. Because Guru, there are two types of Gurus. One is what is called Laukika, worldly. If you have to become a neurosurgeon, an ophthalmologist, and then a highly skilled one at that, you know, you have subspecialized, and therefore you have now a skill that makes you sort out. And all these sort out skills have happened because of my Guru. All right. And therefore, on this day, I acknowledge my Guru who's made me who I am. There is another kind of Guru, Laukika Guru, and the other one, we can call it, is a spiritual Guru, Sadguru. The word Sadguru is very beautiful. In English, it looks like sad Guru. A Guru can never be sad. But it comes from Satguru. That Guru who gives you existence. But in Sanskrit, when you put Sat, when you know Sat, and you add anything else out of that, it becomes not Tha, it becomes Da, Sat. So in sad Guru, it looks like sad Guru, but a Guru can never be sad. So it is Sat Guru. And what do you mean by existence? See, one thing you are certain, you are existent. Now, I will ask you, I just cannot remember. Uh, without looking, can you say, is Dr. Pallavi here? You have to look around. You will say, Pallavi is here or not there. Are you here? To know that I am here, do I have to see? Do I have to feel? So I know why this fact that I am existent does not need my mind, does not need my sense organs. Even in my deep sleep, if somebody calls you by your name, you say, I am. In school, you will say, and your name is called present. What you're saying, am. I am. When you say I am, means you are existent. So the teacher who gives you existence. Existence is a big term, but it only means I am, amness. For example, this chair or this table, this ground is existent. In the school of Vedanta, it is a big thing to be able to understand what is existence. So the teacher who brings in, we call such a meeting as called Satsanga. In Satsanga, the word Sat also means truth. In such a meeting, we are not going to discuss politics, we are not going to discuss whether the share market, who has done what, those things are not going to be discussed. But you're discussing the truth about one's own nature. For maybe another 5 minutes, we can have a little discussion. Now, let the theme be on Guru, not Laukika Guru. We all have Laukika Gurus, but those of you who have had a spiritual Guru, who's been able to help you to see the extraordinary in the ordinary, first in yourself, then in others. If you have any questions, we can have a 5-minute discussion on that. Yes, sir.
How do we differentiate between a teacher and a guru?
Can you elaborate a little more?
So how can we differentiate between teacher and a guru? Who is the teacher and who is a guru? Laukika guru. Because there are many, we have studied under many teachers, but all of them are not our Laukika gurus. So what exactly differs?
In our context, in the school that we go through, we make no big distinction, really. See, somebody who teaches you can be taken as a guru. But see, there are various kinds of gurus. Some people are very charismatic. In their presence, you feel something extraordinary. You get a lot of peace. There are some people who give you some mantras, some people who bless you. Generally, why does a person go to Guru? Generally, you have these big gurus. If you will see those Shankaracharyas of the great matas, and when they give darshan, hundreds of people line up for only one reason: to solve their problems. My daughter is not married, somebody is sick, I have a relationship issue, Guru, please bless me. And why do they go? They have the ability. There is something magical about these people so a lot of people go for problem solving. But there are certain gurus who don't solve the problem, but who dissolve the problem. By dissolving the problem, they will address the one who has the problem. And they'll make you understand your true nature. And once you understand who you are, it is like this. Once you discover some about your true nature, now if you go out now, will there be stars in the sky? Have they disappeared? The stars are still there, but we don't see them. Even on a clear day, we don't see the stars. The moment the sun sets, we are able to see them. Why? Because the sun of consciousness is so bright that even if the stars are there, they disappear. A guru has the ability to make you like the sun, to awaken the sun of consciousness. The stars are still there, all your problems are still there, but then it really does not matter. So I think this is going to be our home crowd, we'll proceed. Can I have the my remote from here only? I'll proceed. Now, any other discussion? We can go discussion based on this. Otherwise, S-
awakening. So one who removes the darkness from our mind, from the surroundings, is Gu stands for darkness, and Ru for the brightening or awakening, like that. In our mind, if there is some darkness, some awakening. That awakening of the mind is constitutes the Guru.
very true. Because the word gu means darkness, the one who removes darkness. What darkness? You know, we have a very nice prayer. Asatoma Sadgamaya. From that which appears to be real, which I think is real, please take me away from that which appears to be real to that which is real. Take me away from darkness and give me the light of knowledge. And then finally, Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. If you understand your true nature, one thing the teacher will declare, you know, when all these great sages, very highly accomplished people, even like, for example, Ravana, they're all very accomplished people who are done a lot of penance. And when they have done a lot of penance, they have the ability to invoke the great deities like Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh will come. Shiva will come to Ravana and says, you have done so much penance. What do you want? The only question they want is, I want to be immortal. All right. When you go through this Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya, the discovery is I am someone other than this body. This body is born, this body goes through its aging process, this body will get diseases, this body will die. But I am never born and therefore I am never going to die. There is a nice verse in the second chapter of the Bhagavad Gita when Arjuna, the great warrior, on the moment when he is all ready to come to battle, he fails. And then Shri Krishna addresses him with these words, Na jayate mriyate va kadachin. Na jayate. Arjuna, you have never been born. Mriyate va. So there is no question of death at any time. Nayam bhutva bhavita vana bhuyaha. Ajaha, Nityaha, Sashvata, Purana, Na Hanyate Hanyamane Sharire. Please come, sir. Come, you can come right in front. You can come. So, this body is not going to die. So, this is the truth of our nature. And therefore, if at some stage you can find a guru who will help you to discover that, then what happens? You enter into the world of people, act like you are like everybody else, but now you know your true nature is actually deathless. Sarika, we can formally begin. We were waiting for you, sir. No, I'm just saying. You don't have to give a just one word introduction and.
It's a short one. Good morning, everyone. We all inhabit a world which is changing every year, every month, every day. Last few years, we have seen a lot of uncertainty, COVID, cybersecurity threats, terrorism, even the massive Microsoft outage we had encountered just a few days back. It just turned our conference topsy-turvy for a moment. This all confirms that this is a period of dynamic, ever-changing, and uncertain tomorrow. The stresses that we take daily in our clinic, in our OT, or even our daily lives would be much easier to deal with if our mind is just a little bit more focused on what really matters and a little bit more calm and poised in the midst of all the tumult. We are extremely lucky today to have in our midst Dr. Thimmappa Hegde. He's a neurosurgeon and he's presently working as the director of Narayana Institute of Neurosciences, Bangalore. He was instrumental in starting stereotactic and functional neurosurgery at NIMHANS and is the founder of Narayana Institute of Neurosciences himself. With his keen interest in spirituality and overall personality development, Dr. Hegde has scaled new heights despite having a very busy neurosurgical practice. That is one thing that I really admire about him. Every such high pose and all the responsibilities he carries with such grace. You can never see uh, one frown on his forehead, as a mark of all the responsibilities that he's carrying on his shoulder. He was invited by the Vatican to speak at an international meeting at the Vatican City and had a special audience with the Pope, His Holiness John Paul II himself. So now, without further delay, we will start the session with Dr. Thimmappa Hegde. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Sarika, and for the team that invited me for this meeting. So today also is Guru Purnima. So we began with a prayer that you can see that Tvameva Mata Cha Pita Tvameva. In our tradition, that we begin everything. See, even if I have to have this pedestal, it is because of my Guru. So we will proceed. I have changed the theme of my topic. Initially, I had given from creature to creator. I felt that it would be a little esoteric. So now the theme will be on being happy. All right? How I can be happy always. Is there a secret to happiness? So that will be the theme. So let us see how we will discover happiness. So one thing is common to all of us, and that is we all want to be happy. Clear? So all our activities that we do day in and day out is directed towards one thing. Why have I come here early in the morning on a Sunday? For one reason, with the hope that this meeting is going to give you happiness. It is going to be either Sukha Prapti or Dukkha Nivritti. Now, if you are on the organizing committee, and even if you're staying as far as she's staying in Yalahanka, if you have to be here at 8 o'clock in the morning, you'd better be, because if you are not here on time as a host, you are in trouble. So all our activities are directed towards two things, Sukha Prapti or Dukkha Nivritti. We may differ in the way we seek happiness. How? See, some people get up early. Why? They want to be happy. Some people sleep late. Why? They want to be happy. Some people fast the whole day for only one reason, because that fasting itself gives them happiness. Some people feast because they expect happiness from food. Some people get married for the same reason, with the hope that marriage will bring happiness. Some people remain single, thinking about, that I'm going to be happier, going to be single. Some people give up their marriage, again with the hope that, my separation may bring me happiness. And some people would get remarried once again with the hope that there is another chance of happiness. Now, Buddha had everything in the world, which normal people would look for. But then he was not happy. And in his search for happiness, he was ready to give up his wife, his children, his palace, his whatever. So let us look at the search for happiness. This is very informal, so you can ask, what are the normal sources of happiness? Normally, where do we look for happiness? It can be classified into three things. We look for happiness in people whom we love. Now, if I meet somebody whom is very dear to me, there is a hope that that time with that person is going to bring me happiness. So people give us happiness. Second is, okay, I'll go into that. Certain objects. All of us like our handheld devices, no? If you're not here in the morning, then you are on your iPad or on your computer, and you can spend any amount of time. There are certain objects, there are certain gadgets which give us happiness. So we all love those objects that give us happiness. There are certain situations. Maybe if I'm going out to see the sunset, so those who are a hiker, they may undergo various difficulties. There are certain situations in our life. So normally, if you will see, all that we look for happiness can come in people, objects, and situations. But then we also know that all of them cannot give complete happiness, isn't it? No? It could always be better, and sometimes it is mixed with sorrow. This is a feeling. I did so much for him, see what I have got. Of course, he or she has given me happiness, but then there is a lot of there is a lot of difficulty also. In all our accomplishments in the world, there is a struggle also, no? So this is what is called dukkha mishrita. In my effort to happiness, it is always admixed with suffering. And then atripti karatvam. It could have been better, no? It is good. You ask anybody, how are you? Uh, some people use this word, Hegde arama. Now I just got the meaning of the word and I want to share with you. What is the meaning of the word Rama? Anybody can share the meaning of the word Rama?
Rama is tripta also, no sir?
Rama is
Tripta. Atma Rama means being content.
correct. There are so many meanings. One meaning would be tripti. Correct. It is like tripti. More than that, the word Rama means ramyate. What does ramyate means? To revel. To be so happy. And is there a total fulfillment when you're completely happy? You will say, I'm arama. You know, I have reached my home. There is nothing to do. There is nowhere to go. I am already what I can. You know, when all your boxes have been ticked, there's nothing to do, nowhere to go. You have nothing in your bucket list. That is the beautiful word aram. Hegidira aram. That is the word aram. But very rarely you can truly say I am arama. You will always see, you know, it could have been better. So all objects, all situations are dukkha mishrita, mixed with sorrow, atripti karatvam. And this third big problem is, you know, I now have all that, but one day it may be taken away from me, no? If I lose my property, if I lose the person whom I love, if I lose my health, my youth, my energy, my well-being, how terrible life will be. That means all these things cause bondage, bandhakatva. So any happiness in this world is admixed with problems. Give me one example of happiness that we all experience where these admixture is not there, where these problems are not there. I'll do that for my phone. Okay, not possible. No, mine is also. Yeah. Give me one example of a situation where I'm completely happy. Very good. See, in deep sleep, there is no object, there is no person, there is no situation, but then I am complete. Of course, if there are dreams can disturb your deep sleep. But in deep sleep, you know, I slept well. That's why all of us like to sleep. And if you don't sleep, then three things. PO, drink, you can take the pill, or for some people it's a pillow. So the three things which help you to get sleep. So we all want sleep, and we are able to do anything for the sake of sleep. Sleep, we all enjoy. But you can remember one thing, in sleep there is no body, there is no person whom you love, there is no situation, there is no object. But then I am complete and happy. That means there is something of the intrinsic happiness in all of us. If I'm able to discover that, I don't need any person in my life to make me happy. I don't need any object. I don't need any situation. Wherever I am, whenever I am arama. Can you think of that? Now, we will go to the next stage. On waking up. Please. What happens on waking up? The moment you wake up, the first thing is, oh my God, what time is it? You know, when you are fast asleep, there is no awareness of time. Then where am I? Suddenly, if you get up in a new location, then even if you're home, you are familiar. But if you get up in a new location, then, oh my God, I'm in this place. So, but the first awareness is, I become awareness of myself. And the moment you become aware of time, aware of place, and identify with this body, then what happens? All the problems come, isn't it? All my problems suddenly come. Why? Because the moment I wake up, what wakes up with me? When you wake up, the waking up process is because of
The world wakes up with us.
the world wakes you up or something else wakes you up? Your mind, no? See, in deep sleep, your mind was asleep. Because your mind is asleep, see, the subconscious mind is there, the conscious mind has gone to sleep. There may be loud traffic noise, there may be heavy thunder, rain, but arama, it is not reported inside to my ears are listening, sound processing is there, but my reticular activating system is such that up to the midbrain only the cortex is free from all, I don't know anything. I have no awareness of myself. So what did you discover from this? We discover one thing, that my mind can give me happiness, my mind can give me all the problems. There is a Upanishad called Amrita Bindu Upanishad, and one of the verses goes like this: Mana eva manushyanam karana bandha mokshay. My mind is the cause of my bondage and suffering. The same mind, if I can train, I can help to discover peace and happiness. So today we will see how can I train my mind to be able to discover peace, happiness. Where? Here. When? Now. Have you seen sometimes a person taking a dog for a walk? And the question is, who's taking whom for a walk? Whenever you are restless, whenever you are anxious, whenever you are depressed, whenever you are sad, your mind is hijacking you. So the outside world, you'd say very gloomy day. What is wrong with the day? The day is okay. For somebody else may be celebrating that day, but the gloom is here. So let us be able to identify the locus of the problem and be able to address. So we are really looking at some form of mind management. Can I be the boss of my mind? There is no illustration anywhere that to show us the mind, but I can show you the brain. I'm just symbolically showing. Now, I have this brain, which is the substrate of my mind. And can I be, in some way, can I discover certain knobs? And I press those knobs, peace, happiness, wherever you are. Is it possible? Let us see. One story. Story of a father and a son. A father comes home early one day and his little boy is so happy to see his papa and he wants his father to play with him. So he brings out all his toys. So imagine the scene, and if you want to empathize with the scene, I want you to be the father in the story. And there's a little child of yours playing with the child, and suddenly you get a phone call by somebody who's saying, something urgent for me. Can you quickly resend that mail? I'm not able to find it. It is very critical for me. Now, how can you leave that boy? Older children, you can say, but small children, you can't do anything. But somehow you explain to the boy. Children won't listen to explanation. So you find a toy for him. You found a map of the world. You tear it into 4 pieces and tell the little boy, this is a jigsaw game for you, and I know how you can fix the world in place. So take your time, put the whole world in place. I'll come back in a moment. So children given activities, like your mind is given some activity, your mind is happy. So the boy was working on the jigsaw. The father goes to his laptop. In no time, the boy is able to put the whole world in place. And the father is amazed. He says, Sonny, how did you do it? And the boy says, Papa, behind the picture of the world map you gave me was a picture of a man. I put the man together because I knew one thing for sure. He said, if the man is okay, the world is okay. Now, I cannot solve the whole world and its problems, but I can certainly do something to address myself. And I know when I am feeling good, the world is also good. When I feel low, the world looks gloomy. So let us see how we can work on myself. If I'm okay, my mind is okay. So we are looking at certain techniques of mind mastery. There is something which is not, this is from Guru Nanak. And Guru Nanak has given a nice phrase. He says, Man jeet Can you complete the sentence? Jagjit. So if you want to be the master of your world, I mean, you don't have to be the master of the whole world. By world, you mean your world, your working world, your family world. And if I have to be in control, the whole secret is, can I be the master of my mind? Can I be the master of my emotions? Now, when I say be master, fortunately for us, our bodies are organized. We don't have to worry about the body. But our mind is certainly not organized, isn't it? You don't have to go to a psychiatrist to find out. We know for ourselves how chaotic our mind could be. Externally, you are an ocean, Pacific Ocean. You may smile and may look peaceful, but there is an internal turmoil that many of us, through the smiling faces, have to go through, and therefore we need to work on our thoughts and our emotions. The subunit. Now, if you want to solve a problem, you have to come to the subunit. And what is the subunit of the mind? Think. Your thought. What is going on in your mind right now? What is that central thought in your mind? What is that thought? And if I can work on my thoughts, Gautama Buddha had something nice to say on thoughts. I will say this and I'm going to question you and see if you remember. He says, watch your thoughts because they become your words. Watch your words, they become your actions. Watch your actions, it becomes your habit. Watch your habits, it becomes your character. Watch your character, it becomes your destiny. And then he makes one landmark statement. Change your thoughts. Continue my sentence. Change your destiny. Now this is a powerful statement from Gautama Buddha. That if I can work on my central thought. What is my central thought? Am I very lucky? Am I very unlucky? Why has God done this to me? Now look at your own thoughts. Each of us have got a central thought in our mind. What is that thought? Now I'm going to ask you one regular question. Watch your thoughts, they become your what? Watch your thoughts, they become your words. Watch your words, they become your good. Watch your actions, they become your habits. Watch your habits, they become your watch your character, that becomes your change your thoughts. Let us see. See, we have been trained to have these thoughts for a long time. That is why this whole program was about meditation. We will see if through meditation, meditation is all about training our own mind. So when, when a person wants to be a good sports person and a good cricketer, for example, he will spend a lot of time doing what? Net practice. So you just have the wickets only and you will bowl on that single stump. You have to bowl onto that stump. And you have to, do all kinds of variations so that the batsman cannot expect, you pitch differently. But then hours together you are training on your net practice. That net practice which you do every day is your meditation. If you do some form of meditation regularly, then you not only are at peace outside, which we seem to be, but can you imagine yourself to be an ocean of peace within? I am Arama. Think. At any time you can interrupt me because it's a small session. Completely. Yeah, there Arama means completely, Purnatvam. Arama. The word Arama has the connotation of complete reveling, not ordinary reveling. Sometimes you're happy, but the world around is different. And for the sake of the others, you have to look sad, no? You have sometimes situations when, something nice has happened in your life and you can't control your smiles, you can't control your joy. But then the world is, what it is. And for the sake of the world, you have to put a sad face. I wish you will be like that, where there is a disparity between who you are. Internally, boundless joy. Gradually, all those swollen faces and heavy hearts, you know, our whole job in our profession, we are here to give vision to others, no? To be able to see the world more clearly, to have less painful eye situations. But then, in our own work, can we lessen the burden? Now, there is one maxim given by Swami Chinmayananda. He says to give maximum happiness to maximum number of people for the maximum number of time possible. And when I got this thought, I was in the airport. So many people around, but I had to keep that thought to myself. What can I do in the airport? In the airport, I have to be well behaved and not come in the way of somebody else and do what I should do as a passenger. But then when I'm sitting as a doctor in my seat, what a privilege. Everybody is coming with heavy hearts and mind. And then in that short interaction, in your own way, see how you can bring happiness. And that happiness can come only if you are full of happiness. That is why through your meditation techniques, make your heart brimming with happiness. You know, like a cloud which is full, purna. And who can give happiness? Only two people can give happiness, or two qualities. One is you must have happiness. Second is you must have the will to give. A lot of us have money. How many of us have the will to be generous? You know, to give that generosity, you need another quality. And then third is opportunity. Many people have, but they don't have the opportunity. Like I'm sitting in the airport and I want to bring happiness. I can't go smiling to strangers. You know, I may be in trouble also. So, but what you do in your own field, where you have so many people working for you, you know, take a moment to spend one-on-one with the close associates with your work. Take them out for coffee for a moment. Look into their eyes and tell them, you know, how are you? How is your life? How's your family? One coffee break when you just break the ice and allow them to share whatever you are. Now, supposing you are in a situation of power, sometimes you feel that people may exploit you. Not really. Have confidence in yourself that I can be able to give. And see in what way I can bring happiness to as many people as possible. You know, when God has blessed us with good health and well-being, then let us be wholesale distributors of happiness. Now, let's look into this world. See, there are a few of us here, some 15 or 20 people. I'm seeing you, and you are seeing me. Am I really seeing you? You all know, or I'm seeing only an image of you? All of you, like for instance, Sarika was there. You will be in my eye as an image, upside down, in both my eyes, isn't it? That means, am I really seeing you? I'm seeing you double. I'm seeing two images of each of you, and whatever is your height, it will be some few millimeters on the retina. And then what happens? The next you know. From there, the retina transducer, the light energy becomes electrical energy, and it goes through this various processing. And then finally, it goes into the occipital cortex. And these two images, which are upside down, now become straight. Not only they become straight, I have a sense of depth. You are here, she is there, isn't it? So my occipital cortex is able to give that information, and I have this whole information. So what has happened so far? So initially all of you have been reduced to images, and those images have been reduced to a thought. So I am seeing only thoughts. So the whole world that we interact, is it a real world? Is it an imagery world? Think. This whole world, as per the school that I'm studying, 100% is imagery. The real world is not inside me. See, we know that the eye is a glorified video camera, isn't it? And I know as a neurosurgeon and into whatever neurosciences I can say, the whole of your brain is a very good supercomputer and information processor. That's it. Therefore, my brain processes the information. My sense organs and the eyes will give information to the brain. And the organ that you work on, 80% of our information come from the eyes. Only when the eyes are not there, then you begin to hear better, you feel better and all that. So 80%, so the complete one sense organ that dominates all other sense organs is the eyes. Whereas throughout our waking time, we are bombarded by visual images. Now, I'll give you one more picture. So ultimately, if I am with various sense organs only, and my mind is a computer, the next question is, if I have a computer which is doing all the work for me, a computer by itself is inert, it's only an information processor, correct? The computer becomes useful only if somebody is the owner of that computer who's using that computer, agreed? Who is the owner of your computer? That means, who am I? I'm not my brain, I'm not my eyes. I am somebody other than that. That is why there is one Upanishad called Keno Upanishad. Those who have studied this Upanishad under a guidance of Guru can say one thing for certain. Where neurology stops with the occipital cortex. And the occipital cortex is information processor, and it has processed the information and giving me all the information. I can recognize who you are, all my past associations with you. It associates with the frontal lobe, my memory, and all those associations. It's a beautiful computer. But the computer has to be used by somebody. In the Keno Upanishad, the student comes to the teacher and says, Maharaj, that's how the student comes in the Upanishads. The teacher is treated as, Oh Bhagavan, my Lord. I'm seeing you, but who is there inside me who's seeing? You can hear me? Who's the listener? You can understand. Who is that one who's able to understand? Certainly not the brain. The brain is only a computing device. That means there is somebody else. That somebody else, if you discover, that somebody is non-material. It is nothing to do with my body. It is just like your SIM card and your SIM and your phone, for example, I will tell you. If I need to communicate, I need my device, which is like my body. And then this device has got old, then what do? I give it up, I buy a new model phone, but I take out that old SIM and put it into this. My mind, not my brain, is like the SIM card that has gone from one phone to another phone to another phone. I have lived in many bodies, but my mind is the same. I'll give you one small test. Now, each of you have to do this. In your mind, look at your own photograph when you were a small girl or a small boy, aged about 4 years. You have that picture? Now, if you show me that picture along with your sister and brothers and all that, I will not be able to tell you who you are. Why? Because you have changed so much. Your body has changed, your mind has changed, everything has changed. But you say, because your mother has told you, this girl, no, this is me, and this is my sister, this is my brother. All right, everything has changed. That means over the years, my body has changed, my mind has changed, my thoughts, my ideas, my friend has changed. But have you changed? No. There is something in you that has never changed, something in you that is always changing. So there is something in me that is changing, something in me is not changing. My body, mind is constantly changing. The real thing, what is absolute real, never changes. If you meet somebody, after somebody, someone says, my God, you have changed so much. What will you say? No, I'm the same. Sometimes you are in a big position and they'll say to you, now you become a big fellow and all that. But you'll say, no, for me, you're just the same. It happened to one of my classmates in school. She landed in Chennai. And the moment she landed there, she had severe toothache. So she said, I need to see a dental surgeon. It's impossible to bear. So they looked for a dental clinic nearby, and the doctor was not there. And when you're not there, you look at all the signage, and the name of the doctor was Dr. Alan Rodrigues. And a bell rang in her mind. Can this be Alan, my classmate in school? And then her thoughts were flashing on to that tall, handsome boy she secretly loved. And as she was thinking, in comes the doctor, but somebody else. Middle-aged, pot-bellied, grey-haired, balding. So mentally she dismisses, no, this cannot be that person. And but as he was speaking, his mannerism, his characteristics were so much. She said, this must be the same person, but an older frame of that same person. So she says, Dr. Allen, were you in this school? He said, yes. Were you there from this year to this year? He says, yes. Then she smiles and says, can you recognize me? He looks at her and says, I'm very sorry, madam, I forget what you were teaching me. Now, this is the exercise for you. My body changes, my mind changes. There is something in me that never changes. What is that? I'll stop my presentation for now because it can go on. I'm just beginning only, but we will have a short relaxation technique. Now, what is meditation? Meditation, different schools have different approaches. We are now what is talking about as per the Vedas. When you talk of Vedantic meditation, as the Vedas. In Vedantic meditation, there are two types. One is called Upasana and the other is called Nidithyasana. These are two variations. When you come to a spiritual guru and you want to learn, and then you'll say, Maharaj, you are so knowledgeable, you know everything. Can I be like you? Certainly. See, when people come to you for training, you remember the first days when you enter your PG program. At that time, you had no idea. You never believed that you could put an incision on the eye. But then you'll see your professors and the heads doing an operation and everything going out well. And you will imagine, can I ever be like that? And then when you are with the teacher for some time, slowly, you get all those skills. The teacher will take some time. So initially, when you go to the teacher gives you a form of a meditation which is called Upasana. Upasana strictly means Nitkrishta Vastu Utkrishta Drishti. Something very ordinary, but then you have an extraordinary vision to something ordinary. So you will do various forms of Upasana. In PG program, for us it is 5 or 6 years of undergraduation, then about 3 years of your PG program, and then a fellowship of another few years. Ultimately, by the time you become a qualified specialist ophthalmologist, you're about 10 years. In spiritual program also, the minimum period is 10 years. That means you're with a guru for 10 years, only then you'll be able to, that is your graduation. So these are various techniques. Let us do one small technique now. Sit in a comfortable position. Keep your feet flat on the ground. Keep your back upright. Keep your eyes closed. Not too tight, not too loose. Now, remember, we are working on our own mind. I also spoke to you that the mind at peace is like in deep sleep. In deep sleep, you have no sense of limitations, and therefore you feel happy, you feel complete. Is it possible to have that state of mind in deep sleep when I am awake, when I am interacting? Become very sensitive to all the sounds that you might hear. You may hear some human voices. the sound of air conditioning. Tell yourself not to be disturbed by any of the sounds. I am comfortable with the ambient sounds. The magic word for your mind is Shantihi. I am at peace with whatever is. Feel the ambient temperature. It may be too cold, but tell yourself, I am okay with it. Feel the ground beneath your feet. Feel your footwear. Feel the ground beneath your feet. Feel the chair you're seated on. Your backrest. No pressure on your backrest. Sit in such a manner, your back is upright, but very gently resting on the backrest. Feel your clothes on your body. Shift your attention to your mind. Ask yourself, are there any thoughts in my mind? For a moment, there are no thoughts. As far as possible, keep your mind free from all thoughts. If thoughts come, let it be. But be the observer of the thoughts. I am watching, my mind is blank now. Now there is a thought, it comes, let it go. I don't dwell on any thoughts. See yourself. This form of meditation is called Sakshi Baba. I am aware of the chairs moving, the sounds I hear, my bodily sensations, the thoughts going on my mind. One powerful method to relax is to become aware of your breathing. All your attention on this, on the tips of your nostrils. Become very sensitive to the air that you breathe in and the air that you breathe out. Take a deep breath. Slowly breathe out. Once again, take a deep breath in and breathe out. Shantihi. I am at peace. Gently move your fingers. Consciously and wakefully open your eyes. The secret of happiness is the time to be happy is now. The place to be happy is here. The way to be happy is to just be happy and to create a heaven right here. Thank you very much. Good day. Have a wonderful day.
I really thank Dr. Thimmappa Hegde for having accepted the invitations. I don't know how many of us know about this. He was the chief guest of our BOS summit 2 years back, and he has so kindly agreed to come and help us with this Vedantic meditation for a small group of us. It was very kind of him to have accepted the invitation. I thank you very much, sir. Personally, for me, he's the person who has kindled the interest in spirituality in me, and that small kindling is like a burning fire now. So I'm really, really thankful to sir for that. And I feel really blessed because today is Guru Purnima, and it actually was a coincidence, but they say that there are no coincidences. So, so I am very, very glad that it was this day that God chose to have him here with us, and it was a very blessed morning, sir, for all of us. Thank you so much, sir.
Actually, for people who don't know, Sir has a channel by name Param Vedanta, where he teaches Bhagavad Gita, and I am one of his students who have attended his course on Bhagavad Gita. He also conducts classes on Upanishads. I request all of you to kindly subscribe and be a part of that group. Wonderful group, and it changes your attitude life. Thank you, sir.
Sir, I have heard your lecture in COSCON about, I think in Mysore, 3 or 4 years back. So it was boss only. Okay. It was something about the Kailash Parvat. I remember that. So I just need one clarification. Can you treat mind? Can you treat mind?
We have a whole professionals who are psychiatrists, no, who treat the mind.
Yeah, I read certain books, Dr. B.M. Hegde was our dean, our professor. He says that mind is something different. It cannot be under any control. Whatever drugs you give, you cannot treat the mind. Is it true?
Certainly not. See, I would like to see your own experience. When you are sitting in your clinic, your patients come with so much of anxiety. What are you doing? We know as doctors how little we do as ophthalmologists, but how much we can do to help him to be comfortable with his disease. That is healing the mind. And I would strongly encourage you to do that. The great opportunity you have, every patient you do, see from a professional angle, what is I'm supposed to do, have I done? Not at the time of my training, but what is current. Why do we attend conferences? So that I'm update on what I'm supposed to do for my patient who has come. Secondly, all of us are busy. But can you bring a smile to that patient? You have treated their mind. Now, whatever Dr. B.M. Hegde said in a particular context, I want you to rewrite that. We all have the ability to change our own mind, to bring our own internal peace in our mind and bring peace in the world. The world means the world of our interactions. All right? Certainly. Of course, then what are professional psychiatrists doing? If B.M. Hegde made that statement, no, they'll all be up in arms against him.
No, there are
He
many
must
people
have
against arms of him.
No, he must have said in a certain context.
Yeah.
So in a context, it may be meaningful, but just see in your own experience. A good professional does more by your mind healing than actually giving your drops or giving you a prescription or, phacoemulsification and giving him back some vision. More than that, you can empowering by helping him to understand his disease. See, we help them by giving our knowledge and our understanding of the disease so that he is comfortable with the disease, he is able to address and know what we can do and what we can't do.
Because since you are a neurosurgeon, like you see, there are certain diseases where you find certain lesions in the brain, in certain psychiatric conditions also. So when there is a lesion, you are treating that organic part, right? But the mind is something which is beyond this. Your MRI may be absolutely normal, but your thought processes, as you said, character, the words and all those things, they do change. So how do you go about treating that in relation to the organic lesion?
I think I've answered it already. I won't repeat what I already said. See, it is not any great science. How you heal your own child, your spouse, and people who come with you, isn't it? We do that all the time. And for that, you have to be anchored and there should be peace within your own mind. So that is why all these forms of meditations, prayer, worship. So, if you have a prayer room, spend some time in the beginning of the day, so that, that restless mind becomes specific. You should be a Pacific Ocean. That is why use some of these terms for yourself. I should be a Pacific Ocean, I should be an Arama. And if you be an Arama, the whole world will be reveling around you. More than as an ophthalmologist, see how you can heal the minds of people who come to you. I want you to see it is possible.
No, mind is something, which nobody has exactly defined it. Because it can be here at this moment, and next moment it can be in San Francisco. So
We are coming into an argument, sir. See, we are working on, I understand the mind is all that, but still, can we make a difference or not? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Can we make a difference?
we can.
1% at least?
We can.
Shall we do that?
We can.
Thank you, sir.
So we have a small gift for you, sir. Thank you once more, sir, for being with us. I invite Dr. Rajesh Parekh to start the next session on Passion Beyond Practice.
We'll just come forward. Like this. Can we put it like yesterday it was there when you were there yesterday in the afternoon? Yesterday? Same like that. Hello. Just turn it a little, sir. Possible. We'll just